10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero, over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well then, I guess you found us on Facebook. Now, if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following our show's page, Shawn and Maya, as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent! And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real? All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the little bell right next to it. That's the notification button, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, yay, that's what I need, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Here, wait. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. We have a mobile app. Come on now. Listen, get with the program. Keep up with the Joneses and them. So here's what you do. Wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Venture. All right, wherever you get them from, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching us on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television, Roku device in the house, do us this favor. Download the Sports Zone Chicago tile. Download the tile. Put it right there next to Disney Plus, Netflix, Prime, Hulu, Stars, Showtime, Paramount Plus. Put it right there. Download it right smack dab in the middle, and you can watch us live. Hell, we're live there, right, Mickey, Ficky, now. All right? Right now, we're there. Oh, that's funny. I just saw something that made me laugh. All right, so do us a favor. Download it to all the Roku devices you have in the house, even if it's in the kids' room. You know, the kids where they watch their cartoons, whatever cartoons are in vogue right now. Just download it to that television as well. It will be greatly appreciated. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai? You can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show today, but we need you to get interactive with us. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform, and it'll come up here on the thread. All right, we'll add it to the screen. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll talk about it. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that is what makes this the best Chicago sports talk show around. And it's you. So bring them. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Bring them all, baby. Bring them all. All right, let's see who we have in the text. The text. Vernon Fairley in the Mickey Ficky house. How you doing? Ready for the Bears to go 0-5 tomorrow. Woo! I don't know if Matty Flus will make it. But I mean, what other alternative do you have if you fire him right now? But I digress. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up? That's what I'm talking about, baby. My man, Mashawn Wall's in the house. Happy hump day. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. What up, Junior? Thanks for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. My girl, Monica Lara in the house. Good morning, Mommy. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I don't know what the hell happened to your thing. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Shorty, Mr. Shorty is in the house. Top of the morning. Listen. No. Let's not tank. Let's not tank. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this, that there'll be more of the usual suspects checking in as the show goes on. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that like button, baby. All right, and be sure to tell people about Shawn and Maya in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 11. Let them know. Let them know. Hey, Junior, is it just you or is it just me that I read this as him rolling his R's? Armando. Did you read it like that too? Because I did. Shorty, you crazy boy. Oh man. Listen, we have a phenomenal show. Man, are you ready to get started? We got to queue up MC Hammer. Let's get it started. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, man, my man Brandon Schuss in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Brandon. How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. At 10 o'clock, we got my man Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. We're going to preview the Bears game tomorrow, mañana, against the Washington Commanders in D.C. at FedEx Field. The Bears go 0-5. Can he get their first win? I mean, Washington's 2-2. So they're, first of all, they have a much better record than we do. But can we get that win? So we're going to talk to Glenn Morgan at 10 o'clock. And then at 10:30, to lead us up to the close of the show, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. All right. She is an award-winning journalist in the DC area who covered last year. She covered the Washington Commanders. So I reached out to her and said, hey, would you come on and give us your take on why you think your Washington Commanders are going to beat my Chicago Bears? And she's like, sure, no problem. She started laughing. Like, you guys, I didn't know how to take that. I didn't know how to take that. But Kelsey Nicole Nelson is going to join us at 10:30. And we're going to, and then she'll take it home. She'll take us home up until the close of the show. So we have a lot of Bears talk. We have a lot of sports talk. The Chicago Bulls had their media day on Monday. Okay, some pressers, some clips. Baseball is going on despite the fact that both of our teams have missed the playoffs. We also had at least the GM from the north side with an exit interview. So we got to talk about that. Man, there's so much going on. So much to talk. Lord have mercy. Mercy. Jeez. Oh, man. So you know what? Let's get it started. So don't forget, here's the lineup again. 10 o'clock, Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago talking Bears with me. And then at 10:30, Kelsey, Nicole Nelson talking Commanders-Bears game from a DC perspective. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So a lot of football talk. We have a hell of a lot of other talk before that. But listen, so guys, you know how we do. We got to get right into it. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Here we go. The first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? So you got to figure out which. Oh. You know what? They played yesterday, so let's. No. Yes, there you go. I like that kind. The Blackhawks. Yay. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The Blackhawks. Big win yesterday at the United Center. My guy, Ozzie Guillen, our guy, Ozzie Guillen and Ozzie Guillen Jr. were there with the family. Ozzie Jr. posted on Facebook, him, Adela, his daughter, Osito, that's little bear. So that's his nickname. In a suite, checking out the kid. And the Blackhawks beat the Detroit Red Wings 4-2. Mrazek stopped 17 of 19 shots for an .895 percentage. Connor Bedard had one goal, his first in a Blackhawks sweater. He also had two helpers, his third and fourth of the season. Perry had 2 goals, his first 2 of the season, and Connor Murphy had a goal, his first of the season as well, of the preseason, I should say, pardon me, as well. Big win for the Hawks. Man, it was great to see. And people are excited. They're excited about this Blackhawks team. They understand that it's going to be a work in progress. Okay? But the upside. Whoo, Charlie, the upside for this team is incredible. Increíble. Man, let me tell you. So we got to move on because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. There you go. Next top of the morning topic yesterday, the Bulls. The Bulls had media day on Monday, and we're going to get into that. Peep this. You know, the Bulls had interviews. There were, you know, let's peep this. Let's listen to what Zach had to say.
Why do you believe in this group, even though the core is basically the same, a few key additions, a few key vets, but why, in your opinion, why do you believe in this group?
You put the work in. If you don't believe in your group or your guys, you shouldn't show up. So, I'm looking very forward to this training camp, us getting out there and getting off to a good start, obviously, because, it's a big season for a lot of people. I mean, I think we're in a good spot either way. We got, Kobe returning. We have Ayo. Obviously, we brought in Javon. These guys don't battle it out. They're a bunch of dogs. I know that for sure. We've been here early last couple of weeks, and guys have been playing high-level basketball. So, whoever can run the team the best is going to be the one, obviously that comes out the winner of the point guard spot. But I think we're in a good spot either way.
Yeah, so he's excited. He's excited. And the Bulls are holding training camp in Nashville. Interesting. All right, training camp was always at the Advocate Center. All right, the new facility that's right across the street from the United Center. And I think I like it. I think I'd like it a lot. And the reason being is you kind of go away. You kind of go away. You go away, you're isolated with your team. A lot of bonding takes place. You kind of get to grow. The chemistry grows a little faster, I believe. And it's what this team needs. Just a break. Just a break. Just something different. Okay? Just switch it up a little. And if it doesn't work, guess what? You can always come back to the Advocate Center next year. Or hell, you can go somewhere else next year. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things. You can go to Wisconsin Dells. Okay, you can go to St. Louis. You can go to Nashville. Okay? You can go to Lexington. You can go to Louisville. It doesn't matter. You can go anywhere. Okay. And I actually like that. Just the team. All right. You may go out, but when you go out, you're going out together. Here, you may not go out together because I'm going to my condo, you're going to your condo, he's going to his condo. I'm going to dinner here, I'm going to dinner there. This way the team can say, hey, listen, we're having a dinner at this steakhouse. We're having a dinner over here. We're having a dinner here. Or a group of guys can go together. I like that. I like it a lot. Well, the next top of the morning topic, my man, MJ. when does he just? He never stops. Michael Jordan is the first athlete. So Michael Jordan's, after the sale of the Charlotte Hornets, Michael Jordan became the first athlete on the Forbes 400 list. His net worth reaches $3 billion. $3 billion with a B. $3 billion. Three of them. 1, 2, 3. $3 billion. You know, he's taking a lot of flack for his part as an owner in the front office, but a good investment with the, getting a minority stake and then getting a hold of the majority stake of the Charlotte Hornets years ago. Then now selling it. He's worth $3 billion. Whew. Is what my question is, what if they get divorced? Oh no. There's got to be a prenup in there, but he's gonna make this money after. So she's gonna get a big chunk of change. A big chunk of change if it goes that route. Yeah. Yvette Prieto is his wife's name, is his wife now, the Cuban lady. But man, my man MJ, oh goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Yeah, spell check. So unbelievable. It's crazy what Michael Jordan's worth now. Crazy. But I'll tell you what, he's been called a lot of things. All right. Unpleasant, kind of a jag bag. But on the court, there's no one better. So congratulations to him. He's worthy of it. He deserves it. I ain't mad at you, Papa. I ain't mad at you at all. The next top of the morning topic. So here's an interesting one. We're stepping up, we're expanding our horizons a little bit. Lionel Messi, today's the day. Lionel Messi, Inter Miami Football Club, traveled to Soldier Field today to play the Chicago Fire. However, Messi's missed 4 of the last 5 games for Miami, and he is questionable for today. He's questionable, and that raises a lot of questions. It raises this one question. How pissed off are fans going to be who paid a premium? Who paid a premium for this game? If you remember, some months ago when Messi signed with Miami, tickets went through the roof. Every single Miami home game sold out. Every single Miami game on the road sold out. To see this generational player. Undoubtedly the best soccer player on the face of the earth today. But the Fire they did a very, very smart thing. They made it very beneficial for people to still show up to the game. Taking advantage of the Lionel Messi hype, the Chicago Fire today, for everyone who shows up, here's what they'll do. you will get $250 off a season. You get $250 credit for a 2024 season ticket. Okay. Or you'll get a $50 credit off of any game next year. Even if it's the Miami game and Messi doesn't play, it doesn't matter. $50 off the ticket for next year. So the Fire are taking advantage of the large crowd that's supposed to be there. It was supposed to be a sold-out crowd. I know they said they handed out over 61,000 tickets for tonight's game. But again, Lionel Messi is not playing. So I'm wondering how many people are actually going to show up. Because I know people are madder than a Mother Hubbard, boy. Let me tell you. Madder than a mug. But I understand. You pay $300, $400, $500 to see this guy, the world's best soccer player. Arguably the best soccer player in our generation. Him or Ronaldo. And he doesn't play? You paid a premium? Yeah, I'd be mad as hell. I'm mad as a mug if I were some of these fans. And you have every right to be. Every right. Well, the next topic. Major League Baseball, the playoffs started yesterday. Game 1 of the wild card. Man, in Game 1 of the American League, Texas beat Tampa Bay the Tampa Rays 4-0. Minnesota beats Toronto 3-1 in the National League. Philly down to Miami 3-1, and Arizona beat the Milwaukee Brewers 6-3. Game 2s today. Game 2s of all those series today in the AL. Actually, I'll tell you, we'll go in order. Texas is going to be at Tampa today at 2:00. You can watch that on ABC 7 here in Chicago. Toronto's going to be at Minnesota at 3:30. You can turn on the 4-letter network to watch that one. Arizona Diamondbacks at the Milwaukee Brewers tonight, 6:00 on the Deuce, ESPN2. And the last game of the night, Miami at Philadelphia, 7:00 on the 4-letter network on ESPN. Even though the Sox and Cubs are not in this playoffs, it's still going to be interesting to watch. Interesting how those games took shape yesterday. And the last top of the morning topic, man, Chase Claypool is done in Chicago. Despite all the craziness with Coach Eberflus not knowing and lying to the media about Chase Claypool at the game, it was determined, and Coach said it on Monday, that Chase Claypool would not be with the team for this week. Short week, hold him out. You know, it's unfortunate. So I'm surprised they didn't cut him. We got no word of him being cut. So there's still a slim hope that he's not done in Chicago. I think he is. They're working out. Rumor has it they're working out. They're asking. They're shopping him. They're looking for a 6th or 7th rounder. So it looks bad because what's going to happen is we traded our 32nd pick in this year's draft because, remember, the Dolphins didn't have a pick because they're tampering with Tom Brady. So they were disqualified. They were penalized their first-round pick. So it was technically the last pick in the first round. We traded that to Pittsburgh for him, and we're going to get a 6th or 7th round pick, if that. So we might have said, hey, you know what? We'll trade our 32nd pick for a 6th or 7th round pick, or a Pittsburgh, here, we'll give you our 32nd pick for nothing, is really, really what it amounts to. That's what it comes down to. All right, this guy's been an issue the entire time. And I think the bottom line, the final straw was when somebody asked him, one of the reporters asked him if he feels that the Bears are using him in the best of his abilities, and he said no. All right, you understand, and trust me, there's no lie there. There's no lie there. They're not using him properly. But when your performance, and especially for what we gave up for you, your performance has been well below subpar. It's been downright bad. The lack of effort, the fact that you had to apologize to your teammates for not going 100% in a game. As a teammate, I'd be mad as hell. Your production hasn't been there. They've thrown the ball to you a couple of times. Didn't come down with those jump balls, what the type of pass that we were kind of expecting you to excel in. So he didn't play last week. He's not playing tomorrow. And here's the thing. Justin has stood up for him repeatedly. And the guy still had the desire to act like an ass. Here's what Justin had to say about Chase.
You said Sunday night that you wanted Chase on this team. What's your reaction to him being gone another week?
It sucks, but at the end of the day, can't control it, and got to go out there with the guys that we have and execute like we did this past Sunday. So wish nothing but the best for Chase, and I think he knows that. He kind of messed up by kind of saying that, but wish nothing but the best. He's a talented player, and he's a great person. Has a good heart, and works really hard. So definitely gonna be staying in touch with him regardless of what happens, and wish nothing but the best. And of course, I think if he got asked that again, or if he wish he could take it back, he would. But of course he can't, and it is what it is. Coach told us that that one thing didn't factor in for them. It was numerous things. I'm not sure what that was. Like I said, that's more of a question for him. I don't make the decisions, but I'm just saying as a whole, just the drama it caused, just all the big media stuff. I know if he could take it back, he definitely would. So
yeah, and one has to wonder, did he respond to that question because he knew this was probably going to happen and he wanted out of Chicago? That's a very good theory. It's very possible. But listen, let's take a quick break, and then the other side of the break, we'll talk a little more. We have a couple more top of the morning topics, but then what we'll do is we'll talk. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk baseball and little Bulls. All right. How about them there apples, huh? How about them there apples? Baseball and Bulls coming up in the next segment. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
I know you guys have asked our players, Rossi, Tom, is this a success or not? And I guess I'll start by saying no. When I think about our season, I'm really impressed that our guys set goals as high as they did. Sort of externally, we were not expected to be a playoff team, but the internal expectations were that we're going to make the playoffs. And going back to spring training, that was the clear goal. When we were 10 games under in the middle of June, these guys still believed, and it was pretty amazing thing from my seat to listen to them talk about how good they thought the team was when we were 10 games under. In the middle of July, when we were after the All-Star break, we were 7 games under, and these guys are begging me not to break the team up and begging me not to make trades, which is really impressive.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That is the Cubs general manager, Jed Hoyer, in his exit interview yesterday. What the Cubs did was amazing. All right. At one point, they were 10 games under 500. They got to 10 games over 500. It's extremely impressive. Okay. It's extremely impressive. It's unfortunate that they couldn't finish at the end, but let's keep it a buck. What they did was impressive. Okay. To be that far down, come that far back up, it's impressive. So now you need pieces. All right, some people are going to be gone. You're going to have new additions, and they're already talking. Man, there's a whole bunch of chatter going on already about, okay, who do they go after? All right, there's a whole bunch of chatter going on, and one of the guys, oh goodness, couldn't remember. Here it is. They're looking at third base. He also talked about the Cody Bellinger thing. He didn't get too crazy and say, "Oh, we're definitely gonna go in." And you know what he said? We talked to him. Talk to his people. He loves it here in Chicago. He loves it here at Wrigley. He loves being a Cub. He said, and we liked it too. We liked the relationship and what happened this year as well. But he also understands that there's going to be a lot of competition for Cody Bellinger. A lot. All right. Marcus Stroman has to decide whether he's going to pick up his option or not. I think he will. In his best interest, he probably should. But then you need some more pitching. All right, you need a first baseman. Are you good at third base? Pete Alonso's name has been floated around there as someone that the Cubs might be interested in pursuing. I don't know. We'll see. The only thing I can tell you is time will tell. And on the south side, no, we haven't heard from our new GM, same as the old GM, Chris Getz. Although they did make some moves. Hitting coach Jose Castro. Okay. And first base coach Daryl Boston will not be part of the team next season. Assistant hitting coach Chris Johnson, who was on the job for one season after a promotion from AAA Charlotte, will be reassigned. So he's with the big club. Boston is the guy you've seen. He was a first base coach. He's also worked for the Sox outfielders, was a holdover from a lot of staffs. Okay. He was the longest tenured coach. He's a close friend of former executive vice president Ken Williams, who was fired in August. So that's letting you know partially why he still had his job, I feel. Castro was a Braves assistant hitting coach before joining Griffol's staff this year. And according to Darryl Von Schouwen in the Sun-Times today, he said that the Sox hitters were said to be torn between multiple hitting voices on the staff. Major League field coordinator Mike Tozar also worked with hitters. So you had Joe Castro, you had Mike Tozar. Come on, you need one voice, one guy. And what is he? Is this guy a power freak? Do I need you to hit and believe in my philosophy? Because some guys are good hitters. So you don't want to change their swing. You don't want to change their approach. Maybe get them to look at a different approach depending on the scenario. You got to get a run over to third. You got to get a run in, a sacrifice fly to score a guy from third. Your approach might be a little different at that point, and it should. It should be. But who knows what the heck is really going on with? Who knows? Who knows? But the cleanup has started. And hopefully it goes all the way up to Getz. And sorry, did I say that? And unfortunately, Grifol is not going to be part of that cleanup. That, my friends, is probably the biggest injustice that can come out of this. Grifol. And this is no disrespect to Grifol. You just didn't get a good enough effort out of your guys. You didn't motivate them. You didn't prepare them enough. And so they ended up with the god-awful record, 61-101. Do you realize you finished 40 games under 500? 40. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. As a Sox fan, that's embarrassing. I don't know. I really don't know. It's something that's nutso. You know, Jed had something that he talked about. You know, David Ross came up as well. Let's listen to David Ross. He talks about. Let's listen to Jed Hoyer. He talks about David Ross.
You know, watching him the last 2 years. I mean, we sold at the deadline last year. We sold the entire bullpen, and I think we were 9 games over 500. You know, after that, this year to be where we were, as we've discussed a couple times, and be able to come back. These guys play really hard for him. They want to play for him, and I think that comes from sort of who he is as a person and what he embodies, which is just like being a great teammate and coming in every day to win a game, and then, you know, win or lose, he's going to be the same person the next day. And, you know, I know you guys are all around this every day. Like, it's so hard to do that in this sport when, you know, and that's the part that people just don't see on a day-to-day basis. They see what happened, the 6 decisions he might make in a given game, but they don't see all the rest of the things that go into leading a successful team.
His thoughts on Rossi, and he likes Rossi. I like him too. Shoot, I told you I wish I had him on the south side. We'd have that record could be flipped. Our White Sox record this year could be flipped if David Ross was on the South Side. That's just how I feel. I feel that he is one of the guys. He is a manager that carries gravitas because of the fact that he's won a World Series, not once, but twice. Two times. Right? He demands respect. He likes playing baseball the old, he's old school. There's some fundamentals that you just can't stray from, and he adheres to them. And his players adhere to them as well. Otherwise, you don't play for him very long. That's simple. That's simple. But I mentioned earlier, the Bulls had training camp. I'm sorry, they had media day on Monday, and man, it was a lot of optimism. A lot of optimism. Zach, DeMar, let's listen to what DeMar had to say on Monday.
I love it. I love it. The competition level should want to bring the best out of you to be able to want to compete against that. That's how I look at it. That's my view. And that's one thing I want to express to the guys. When you see that, you got to get more hungry, understanding that, you want to go against those big-time teams like that and compete. You want to be ready. You want to be ready, prepared. You want to try to put in all the effort you need to be ready for those moments, because that should bring the best out of you every single night. So to me, I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. It's fun. And I love it from a competitor standpoint and from a fan standpoint.
That's our guy, DeMar DeRozan. He's excited. And you know what? I'm excited too. And the thing is, I understand. I don't expect him to go far. You're basically running it back again. Now, if you had Lonzo Ball, this is a whole different story. It's a whole different outlook, because I'm looking for us to compete. Now, let's reconsider. Let's not forget that Damian Lillard is now 90 miles away in Milwaukee. That's not good for us at all. That's not good. But nonetheless, it would be a different scenario, different feel. And Lonzo talked as well. Here's what he had to say.
I'm feeling pretty good. Probably about halfway through the rehab process. Still got a long ways ahead of me, but each week I've been progressing, and I'm just trying to stay positive and take it day by day. Well, the surgery was a really big surgery. So we were all together, came together with a plan moving forward, and it's not really, I wouldn't say a set timeline, but I pretty much had this whole year to get as healthy as possible and be ready to go next season. So like I said, I'm taking it each week, just trying to stay positive and take it like that. I know I'll be going back and forth from here in LA, just because that's where my rehab person is out there, and I'll be with the team sometime and out there sometimes, but I don't have the set dates yet. Yeah, I definitely plan on playing again. Like I said, I'm only 25. I feel like the rehab process has been going well so far, no setbacks. So for me, it's just keep my head up and just keep doing the work.
That's our guy, Lonzo Ball. That's a guy who makes a huge difference in his Bulls team. A huge, huge difference in his Bulls team. And it sucks because he looks healthy. He's you're like, well, you can't just get out there and play. You can't. But he can't. Like with him on this team, playing, starting, it's a completely different ball club. Completely different. Him and Alex Caruso together, shut the front door. Come on now. When you disrupt guards, when you disrupt them and you interrupt the flow of a team's offense, it causes them to take last-second shots, all right, a lot of tip passes, and all this milks the shot clock. All right, you're in the passing lane. They don't want to pass. They can't pass because you're there. Then they have to make one more pass to get back to the pass, to get back to you to make another pass to get to the guy you wanted. That's all time running down on the shot clock. And you might have to take a shot with 2 seconds, 1 second on the shot clock, as opposed to 6 or 7 on the shot clock. Believe me, there's a different feel when there's 1 or 2 seconds on the shot clock, or 5 or 6 seconds on the shot clock. There's a big difference when your shot is, when you don't get the shot smooth, when the passes aren't crisp, okay? When you're getting it in rhythm. This is what they do. They disrupt on the outside. They disrupt the guards on the outside, which in turn disrupts the entire offense. Man, I hope he can come back. You know, he said it'll take this whole year. But I mean, man, like what the hell happened to his knee? That's my question. What the hell happened to your knee? Man, I played football my entire life. I've seen guys. We've seen it in the NBA. I mean, in the NFL. I've seen guys in college get their knee like broke off. It got shot out. It snapped. It smashed. It went to smithereens, and they played the next year. This guy's going on 2 years. What the hell did you do to your knee? Something just isn't right. Kneecaps flying. Ligaments flying here and there. And guys are back the next year. And this guy is not? Man, something ain't right. Something's weird about that. Something's weird to me. Very weird. But Zach's the dude. Zach, you're the dude. All right, $215 million man. You're the headliner. I know DeMar actually plays better, but you're the dude. It's your team. Here's what he had to say.
Why do you believe in this group, even though the core is basically the same, a few key additions, a few key vets, but why, in your opinion, why do you believe in this group?
You put the work in. If you don't believe in your group or your guys, you shouldn't show up. So, I'm looking very forward to this training camp, us getting out there and getting off to a good start, obviously, because it's a big season for a lot of people. I mean, I think we're in a good spot either way. We got Kobe returning. We have Ayo. Obviously, we brought in Javon. These guys don't battle it out. They're a bunch of dogs. I know that for sure. We've been here early last couple of weeks, and guys have been playing high-level basketball. So, whoever can run the team the best is going to be the one, obviously that comes out the winner of the point guard spot. But I think we're in a good spot either way.
That's our star. That's our dude, Zach LaVine, whether you like it or not. You know what? Cornelius, I agree. He does look stronger. He sounds stronger. It's all talk right now. All right, everybody looks good. But he sounds a little different. He sounds a little more mature. Maybe fatherhood has matured him a little bit. Guys are playing high-level basketball. Okay, well, what are you supposed to say? Guys are playing. We've been playing like shit this whole time while we're out here playing. Come on. Who's going to rebound? Who's going to defend on the perimeter? Who's going to rebound? Who's going to shoot the three? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered from this team. But I will tell you this. I do love the fact that they're in Nashville. I mentioned that earlier. I like the fact that they went away. I like the fact that they're all together, isolated. And I don't mean isolated like, but I like the fact that they're going away together as a team. I don't know how many other teams do that. I think most teams have practice at their facility when they're training camp. But I like getting away. And hopefully the chemistry, the bond, the familiarity grows stronger. I mean, that's not going to stop Vooch from missing from the three-point land. He's got to hit those with more consistency. He's got to go down low more often, get people in foul trouble, work your way out. Remember, that was my formula for Vooch. Start down low, bang down low, and then pull him out 5 or 7 feet. Hit it off the glass, kiss it off the glass. All right, there's certain things you can do, and it's progressed from there. Don't just start shooting threes all the God blessed time. I'm 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3. This one's going up 0 for 4. 0 for 5. No, stop. Get your ass in the post. Body somebody. Get an and one. Get some confidence. Get to the free throw line and go from there. All right. Ayo, I hope he continues his 3-point shooting. I hope he's gotten better. I hope he's gotten. I mean, Kobe White. I said Ayo. Kobe White. Kobe White at one point was, man, he was a dog. He was a sniper. Keep that up. I hope that continues. Ayo, same thing. Ayo, same thing. You got to grow up, son. I know you came from the South Side, so you got that dog in you. We saw it at Morgan Park. We saw it at Illinois. We saw it. We saw it. Bellissimo in the house. What's up, Papa? So there's a lot of questions surrounding all of this. A lot of them. It's everyone's hunky dory, peachy keen. It was it's the new media day, taking pictures, looking good. Oh man, you look strong and this, great. All right, we got to get down to the nuts and bolts. What have we done? What have we done to aid this to get this team into the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs? Because now the East just got stronger. Damian Lillard is 90 miles north of us. 90 miles. Video game Dame and the Freak. Video game Dame and the Freak. That, my friends, is a dangerous combo. Muy peligroso, since it's National Hispanic Heritage Month. Muy peligroso. Very, very dangerous. It is. I'm concerned, and we have every right to be, every reason to be. Billy Donovan, has he gotten better as a coach? Has he gotten better at understanding the talents of his team and using them I couldn't think of the word, and using them to the best of their ability? Remember last year, like Andre Drummond, he hated Andre Drummond. I'm like, dude, Andre Drummond's a walking double-double. He's a walking double-double. Man. It's like, why did you not play him last year? He walked in. It's like, bump you. All right, so Andre Drummond's here. He exercises kind. He's at $3.36 million this year. Are you going to not play him because you don't like him? You know what, Leo? You're right. He doesn't attack on offense. He doesn't. He can. He has. But that's not his game. And it's bothersome because you have the body to attack. You have the body to go into people. You have the body to get people in foul trouble. You have the soft touch to go along with that body. Give a nice shoulder, a nice little hook, and one. Get your ass to the line. 3 points the hard way. He can do that. He chooses not to. He wants to be that Euro dude. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being the Euro dude, but you know what? Start off down low. Start off down low, then back up, kiss it off the glass. Then give me a mid-range, give me a midi. Then go to three-point land. Get your confidence up. Get your confidence up. Get people in foul trouble. But he doesn't do it. I don't know why. I don't know why. So there's a lot of question marks surrounding this Bulls team. Vooch is one of them. Vooch is definitely one of them. All right, P. Will. Man. You know, DeMar DeRozan said this, and again, this is according to Joe Colley from the Chicago Sun-Times. All right, they're down in Nashville, and he said, hey, said it means everything. DeMar DeRozan said this when talking about the maturation of Patrick Williams. Said him being a little more vocal, showing a little more bravado. I'm hoping he gets a technical foul this year. If he gets a tech this year, one, I'll pay for it, and two, you'll all see how far he's come. Unquote. It's time, Patrick. It's your 4th year now. You're going into your 4th season. So this should be technically your rookie year if you stayed all 4 years in college. So you should come out a finished product. I need to see rebounding. I need to see attacking the rim. I need to see a goddamn dog out of you. You have it. You have it. He has it in him. We've seen him in summer league. We've seen him go at people's heads, dunking on them. Then the season comes. He gets out. He gets on the floor with Zach and DeMar. Like, oh, okay, I'll take a back seat. Go ahead, guys. No, dude, step up and make them say your goddamn name. Show people why you were our first round pick a couple years ago. Show people why. Show people the talent that you have. If he can do that, this Bulls team can go deep in the playoffs. Not world title deep, but they can go deep in the playoffs. Big year for him. Hope his cojones dropped and he starts playing like a man. Because if he starts playing like a man and you put him on the second unit and let him go ham and just score like, hey, listen, give me 16 to 20 a game on this off the bench. Just go ham. Just go. Go dunk people 3-point, go on people's heads. I'd love it. And think of how much that'll help the whole team. I'm getting fired up already. I'm talking Bulls basketball. I ain't even talking Bears. I'm fired up because I want Patrick Williams to do well. He is extremely talented. We've seen it. It's just in spurts. And then when the big boys, when DeMar and Zach get by, oh, that's okay. Go ahead. I'll defer to you. No, if you're a dog, you don't defer to anybody, baby. You have to tell them, hey, they have to tell you, listen, homie, it's my team. That's where I want his attitude to get to. Where DeMar and Zach say, hey, homie, it's my team. Because he's thinking it's his. Got me fired up. I'm about to get fired up for the last hour of this show, too. I got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break is my guy, Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. And then at the bottom of the hour, we have Kelsey Nicole Nelson from Fox Sports out in D.C. giving us a Commander's perspectives. We got a lot of football, baby, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Mooney! Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, and break tackles, and he's off to the races, and he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie. Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Sunday, do you think that that is closer to what your offensive identity is?
I do think we, took a step closer in finding our identity as an offense. So, that's always a positive to get. But, we just have to keep working hard and, keep getting better each and every day. This week's a short week, so really got to lock in mentally because we don't have the same amount of days we do to lock in on the game plan. So, guys are locked in mentally, a lot of walkthroughs, and we just got to lock in and get the body right, and especially the mind for, this game coming up Thursday night.
Justin, when you...
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That's our guy. That's JF1. And like it or not, that's the dude. And you know what? We're going to talk about the trade rumors, and they're just talking yesterday on Get Up, but they made a great point. And I'm going to talk with my first guest about that conversation. And what does he think? Guys, you've seen him first on this show, but you also seen him on NBC Sports Chicago, Football Night in Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at True Glenn Morgan. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our guy, Glenn Morgan. Glenn, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, brother? Before we begin, I have got to ask you, are you in charge of the PSAs that show when I'm in the waiting room? Are you responsible for selecting those PSAs? That's like a legit question, because I saw the most terrifying effing commercial or PSA my entire life. My kids are home today, and I almost ran upstairs just to make sure they were still okay.
Just to hug them?
Just to hug them, to make sure. It's the most terrifying PSA. These children are in school, and there's a shooter running around, and they're saying, "Hey, these socks are really good because they can help, tourniqueting your leg." And I've got my phone so I can stay in touch with my mom. And you hear the echoes of feet walking in this bathroom, and this girl just like cringing in the corner in darkness. How am I supposed to perform on your show after seeing something like that? Jesus.
I'll talk to my producer, Steve. Like, Steve, that's kind of work there. Like, school started already. We can hopefully there's none of those things, but
oh my God. My voice is like 5 octaves higher. That's how terrifying it is. What's up, man?
Oh man, there's a lot to go around, dude. A lot. Let's just close our eyes. You know what this reminds me of? You remember Popeye growing up? And and so Wimpy's sitting there, and Popeye or Bluto and someone are fighting with each other. And they're throwing stuff over. So Wimpy comes and he just sits down. Or he wants to sit down. He reaches up, whoop, grabs a table,
right,
grabs a chair, whoop, grabs a burger. That's us right now. All the stuff that's going on with the Bears. Let's just reach up and grab something and talk about it. Justin Fields in the locker room, he was just stunned.
Yeah.
All right. He was sitting there when they let us in. He was still fully dressed. Fully dressed. Just his helmet. Only thing off was his helmet. His rib guard's undone, but he's just sitting there, just in shock.
Yeah.
And so the reporters took it and like, oh my God, this team's done. Justin's done. I'm like, dude. First of all, I hate when guys do that. Like, all right, he just lost the game. He just lost the game. He's mad. Okay, tomorrow's gonna be fine. But he just lost the game. Like, this team's done. I saw them. They've done it. I was like, dude, relax. So he was in Hallis Hall yesterday, But give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on his performance leading up to the fourth quarter. Give me the first 3 quarters, and then talk about the fourth for him.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's closer, much closer to the Justin we saw in college. You know, this is a guy who has an ability to make passes. People think he can't pass. It's like the narrative became after last year. All he is a running quarterback. Whereas that was not the narrative of him coming out of college. He was a dual threat, but he was seen more as a pocket passing or more, slightly roll left and right type kind of passer who could throw the deep ball accurately. And the statistics proved that over the course of his career at Ohio State. So obviously college and pros are 2 different games. But because of circumstances, he was forced to run, sometimes for his life last year. So coming into last week, it was just like, all right, here we go. Let's see if there's anything left here. I just don't know. I wanted to have, get a T-shirt and say "Free Justin Fields." Just let this dude, play. Just please let him play. And he did, and they did, and he performed exemplarily. I mean, beyond our wildest expectations. Not granted, Denver is clearly the worst defense that we've seen in quite some time, and they're going to allow you to do things as long as you do them, but you still have to execute them. And for us, that's been a problem all year anyway. So it's not like it's a given just because they're bad, we're going to be good. But Justin showed that, hey, you know what? I have the ability. And, was he 16 for 16 or 16 for 17 going into the half? That Hail Mary, pretty much only on completion, over 230 yards and 3 touchdowns, I think, at halftime. And he ended with 330 plus yards, 4 touchdown passes. Obviously, the turnovers at the end. But again, time and time again, especially over the last maybe year or 2 years, I really see now how offensive coordinators, coaches in general, but offensive coordinators can make an entire difference in a player's ability to be able to be productive, prolific, or the opposite of those things. And we saw it with Tua last year. Different persona non grata. The owner, coaches, everybody was trying to trade him off for anywhere from Deshaun Watson to Tom Brady. He was just like, can't have him, won't have him, gotta find some way to deal him. New coach comes in, new system, better players. All of a sudden, now Tua is MVP candidate. Now, I'm not saying everybody's turnaround is going to be that dramatic, but but my point is there's a decided difference when you have somebody that knows what they're doing and a coaching staff that knows how to utilize your abilities and combine them with the players' abilities around you so that you have some type of cohesion as a unit and you're able to complement one another. And this coaching staff has done everything else but that, especially this year. Last year, we saw some improvement and we thought it was such a low bar that we thought we saw something that it meant something. And coming to this year, it's just like, what are we doing? Who are we? What are we? What's going on? So that being said, it's really refreshing to see that, yes, Justin Fields exists underneath all that other stuff that we thought was Justin Fields. Like the real Justin Fields, we got to see a bit more of this past week. And I think we're all excited, or, cautiously excited to see if that's going to persist and continue. Especially against a purported good defense. And we can get back to that. I say purported because statistically speaking, the Washington Commanders are not that good a defense.
And that's a funny thing that you say when you brought up Tua. People are these idiots, and this is why I can't talk football with anybody. I can't talk football with everybody, dude. I just can't. I feel dumber because the same people who will say, who'll mention Tua, but then they're going to say, oh, fire Justin Fields, trade Justin Fields. Like, but wait, look at the coordinator he's got. Look at the lack of development that he's had. Look at the lack of game plans and putting him in a position to be successful that's going on with his offensive coordinator. They're the ones who are saying, wow, the guy, Mike, I just lost his name, from Miami, the head coach.
Yeah, I couldn't say it either. That's why
I can't. Like he comes over there and Tua, like you said, is an MVP candidate. Get someone over here like that for Justin. Get someone who's like, we talked about where the slants, where the curls, where the hitches, where these quick routes to get Justin, all right, comfortable. Get him completions early. Where are all those? They're not there. So when then like, oh, trade Justin, he's horrible, blah 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 blah. It's interesting. So like I said, that's why I can't talk stuff football with everybody because the people talk out of both sides of their mouths, and it's not Mike McDaniel. Thank you very much. Some of the guys in there, McDaniel's like Mike McSomething.
Thank you. Right.
I was thinking like Marty McSorley. I was gonna say McSorley from the Edmonton Oilers. Like it's not McSorley, different sport altogether. But but yeah, I think that's the dude. I think Justin can be that dude. Talk to me about this offensive line though, because I don't give a damn who you are. Ask Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn who you are. You got big boys up front blocking for you, and that consistency there. Talk to me about that. Devin Jenkins should be back. Nate Davis was back.
Yeah. I think I think I said on Football Night in Chicago that of all the coaches on this staff, from the head coach down to whoever the least accredited coach is, that I thought Chris Morgan was doing a pretty good job, all things considered. And all things considered, meaning not having the bodies to be able to create any type of continuity along that offensive line and sticking and plugging and playing with guys. And I think even this past week, they did a solid job. Great, no, but, again, all things considered. And, they were putting some situations that compromised them. And some of that was because of the play call. A lot of things are so interconnected. It's so difficult to just say it's all of this or all of that, unless it shows to be that all the time. And right now, there's, like you mentioned with the Wimpy situation, there's so much chaos. There's so much, swirling around us. It's very difficult to pinpoint exactly where all the problems are or where they stem from so that you can stop it at the root and then go forward. So I think this offensive line will continue to get better and grow cohesively as the season continues and progresses. And here's the thing. I thought that even before all these injuries, even before the beginning of the season, I thought we would struggle in September. I've said it on your show. I've said it on other shows.
You did.
That we're going to struggle in September because it's too many new disparate variables happening all at one time. And the coaches have to relearn these players, blah, 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 blah. That was with everybody being healthy. And that ain't happened. And that's the other thing I mentioned. We're not deep. We got a lot of new players, a lot of new shiny pieces, but there's not a lot of depth behind it, not a lot of proven depth. So ironically, because of some of the injuries, we are seeing that this team does have some depth behind it. They just have to learn how they got to play, got to get that playing experience. Well, they're getting that now. And so now when the starters are starting to come back bit by bit, we'll see a team that starts to look a little bit better as a complete squad. Not too dissimilar than what the Detroit Lions were going through last year. About 1-8 at one point or 1-7 at one point. And I'm like, man, it doesn't look like Campbell's going to be long for this job. And that back and kneecaps thing is really going to play horribly as this. Oh, wait, hold on.
Did they just win again? Oh, my God.
Yeah. That 4 5 of them? Oh, did they just beat Green Bay in Green Bay and Green Bay is trying to go to the playoffs? What do we have here? And, hopefully we have something similar to that. I still think the Bears can win 6 or 7 games this year. I really do. I know they haven't won a game yet, but, there's still 13 games left. I think they can go, 50% of that or close to. The teams, the games that I thought that they had no chance of winning, they pretty much happened already. And that was Kansas City, San Diego. There I go again. The Chargers, possibly. But, their head coach always keeps you in games anyway. So everybody else is very beatable. Detroit's probably going to be the one team that may look to be the hardest to beat, but it's a division rivalry, and who knows what can happen. But we played the Vikings twice, Atlanta. I think we've got the Cardinals on docket. Cleveland Browns defense is going to be very difficult. They may be another difficult team. I'm not saying we're going to go 10-3 down the stretch. I'm just saying that I think we have a very good chance of still winning at least close to half the games we have remaining, and hopefully that can begin this Thursday.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I think just to get off the schneid. I mean, we got to stop the bleeding. And I was disappointed in Luke Getsy. First of all, in coach for going for it on 4th and 1. All right, kick the field goal, get the points. If you're 2-2, if you had 1 win, okay, I see, go get it. But you got to get off the schneid. I know you're talking. It's only 4 games, but you still. And many of these guys were here last year, so they're still. Most of these guys on a 14-game losing streak. Excuse me. And so get that monkey off your back and let Russell Wilson go and beat you, or at least tie you, and do something else. That was one of my biggest issues.
You know, that's been debated and bandied about so much, locally and nationally. And like everybody else, like all assholes, I have an opinion as well. And the thing to me is, and this is the frustration, this is where it goes to, this coaching staff has to be removed. It was so inconsistent within itself just on that day game or that game day itself. And it was so ass backwards and not, no, I'm sorry, so back asswards. It wasn't ass backwards. It was back asswards, because, the first drive, 4th and 2 near the 50-yard line, I was like, go for it. And I'm sitting in the conference room and Coach Wannstedt is nearby. And Coach looked at me like, this is why I'm a coach and you're sitting here talking about games. he gave me that look. He's like, no, punt the ball. I'm like, Coach, you're 0-4. What do you have to lose? He's like, no.
Field position.
Punt the ball, field position. Okay. And that's exactly what Eberflus did, right? That's what the team did. And I said, okay, I get it. Defensive coordinators, you guys stick together. You're being conservative. I get it. Don't lose the game. You're not going to win the game here, but you don't want to lose the game here. I get it. Okay. And so I bought into that. That's going to be your philosophy and mindset going on. Later on, they go for 4th down with that crap ass, tight end sneak again. They barely got it. Okay.
Get rid of that goddamn play.
Get rid of that play. Get rid of it. You got lucky.
Get rid of it.
Okay. But then you come to the end of the game. And if your thought was, if your mindset, and I'm going by what Eberflus said here at the press conference, oh, yeah, we're going for it, no doubt. Okay, well, if you're going for it, no doubt, why, when you had the ball, before you called that bullshit-ass timeout, why did you not hike the ball? You had Justin at the line with about 6 or 7 seconds counting down. The defense doesn't know when you're going to hike the ball. They don't know if you're going to try and draw them off sides or if you're going to hike the ball. Somewhere around 3 seconds, you can hike the ball. Justin's 6'3", 228. According to Eberflus, you need a half a yard. Looked like more like a yard to me. But still, Justin can get that because the defense is not – they're anticipating, but they don't know exactly when. You know what I'm saying? You have a little bit, you have a little bit of an element of surprise, a little bit of leverage surprise on your side. But then you count down. Okay, now you're telling me you're going to kick the field goal. And this is game time. I'm thinking this. You're going to kick the field goal because you're probably saying, I don't really trust my defense the second half here because they've been moving the ball up and down the field on us. I don't want to put the defense in a bad situation. So let me kick the field goal, take my 3-point lead, like you just said and alluded to, and have Denver beat, have to go 75 yards to beat you. Kick the ball in the end zone. They're going to save time. They're going to feel,
worst case scenario, they kick a field goal and tie you. So now worst case scenario. You know what I mean?
Well, worst case scenario that benefits you, yes. Worst case scenario they score a touchdown. But I get what you're saying. In terms of worst case, best case for us, they kick a field goal. You're not going to lose. So no, you completely ass backwards at it. And you call a timeout, so you waste the timeout just in case you might need it. You waste the timeout, and then you decide on that bullshit ass play, the shotgun. Why? We could spend an hour just talking about that, but you decide on that play, okay?
Watch,
and you have
Glenn,
to.
I got this clip. I got this clip. Let's watch this clip, and it's not even to the Bears, but just listen. And here's exactly what it is that I've been asking for forever. Just watch.
Put him in motion, and it's like, okay, Trent Williams is going to be the lead blocker on this play, and he's got a 7-yard head start.
Well, it's fun, too, because I'm the tight end he's running at. And so, if you look back in our playoff game versus the Packers, he smoked the defensive end into me, and then they both landed on top of me. And I was just happy. I was like, wow, that had to have looked really cool. What a fun play. Trent Williams in motion.
Yeah.
And then I think, someday we'll get a pass off of it too. Hit him in the flat. Who's that? Was that Penny Sewell with the Lions?
Yes, to win the game. Yes.
Yeah. How cool. Hopefully we can do that with Trent at some point.
San Francisco's best offensive lineman, their best lineman, their left tackle, put him in motion. I've been yelling that for years. Apparently, San Francisco got the memo. Hell, they got the memo back in '84 when they put Guy McIntyre in the backfield. Okay, this is what I'm saying. If you wanted to make a statement, okay, Eberflus, I get it. All right, you know what? We're tired of this shit. We're gonna. Okay, cool. I get it. I would have kicked the field goal, but I see your point. Get a lineman in motion. Get somebody in motion because I don't care how tough you're talking about a 280-pound defensive tackle, a 260-pound defensive end. You crash down, let the end come, and here comes that guard, whatever, with a head start. Come on, man. With a fullback behind him, with Roshan Johnson behind him, we can't get 3 feet.
Right.
Come on, man.
And we do have a guy called the Fridge who used to do stuff like that routinely.
I vaguely remember something along those lines. Yeah.
but here's where I just lose my shit on this is because he loses the psychology he's using. It's like, okay, whenever you consider an action, you have to consider the opposite action could happen. You know, there's a plus and a minus to whatever decision you make in life, let alone football.
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't make the first down? Well, if you don't make the first down, you put more pressure on the defense that you didn't have confidence with to begin with.
Who just gave up 21 points to tie it.
Because not only do they have to stop you, they can't even stop you from scoring a touchdown. They got to stop you with less amount of yardage to stop you from kicking a field goal to win the game. So you put more pressure on a unit that you thought wasn't good enough for you to begin to have faith with anyway. That made absolutely no sense. It was back-asswards. That is just so. And you literally they contributed mightily to the way Justin was looking in the locker room when you saw him.
Yeah,
and that's why I say, and I was saying it before the game even began. Leading up to the week, a few games leading up before, a few days before the game, that if we don't win, we played a game of what if. What if we don't win? What does this mean? And it means that as the general manager and or maybe even the president, Kevin Warren, you have to seriously consider that you're creating an environment of defeatism. That these guys are defeated before they even begin the game. They're defeated during the game.
Culture.
I don't want to use that word.
That's
I'm
right.
so sick of hearing that word. It's a fine word.
Environment.
Yeah, the environment. But having a defeatist mentality and an air of defeatism. And that was what you saw with Justin momentarily. I'm not saying he's lost, but that was a defeated feeling, man. Because it's like, no matter what the hell I do, this is still the outcome. And you know that you got to wear some of it. But damn, if they didn't put me in a situation, or damn if I wasn't put in, or the situation got to the point that we found ourselves here. And that's messed up. So the only good thing about this, I shouldn't say the only, but one of the only good things about this is that we don't have to wait till Sunday. They can try and get the stink out of their nostrils, in the next couple of days.
Tomorrow. So yeah, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I am nowhere near. Are you anywhere near out on Justin Fields? Because me personally, I'm not.
No. And here's the thing, currently right now, as things stand, because I do a mock draft weekly for NBC Sports Chicago as well. And right now, the Bears have the top 2 picks. Okay. Everybody and their mothers, uncles, daughters, left, dog outside the front door is saying Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm slowing up on the Caleb Williams thing for a couple of reasons, and that's a different story, and I'll get back to that. Fine athlete, fine young man, Heisman Trophy winner, represents USC and Oklahoma well, and his family, and does great commercials. I don't see that he's necessarily any better than Justin. I see him as very athletic. I see him throw very much so off his heels when he doesn't have to. I see a lot of things that won't necessarily fly in the NFL. I see him playing in an offensive system that is dominant in college and with dominant talent around him. I'm not saying he needs that talent per se. I think he can make the players around him, just as successful. But I'm not completely sold that he is the answer per se. Because first and foremost, as you mentioned before, you got to get the coaching staff in place. But here's my thing. Here's my thing with Justin. And as the season progresses, and this is the caveat here is that Justin plays similar to the level he played Sunday. Obviously, he's not going to play at that high level each half, but if he's coming away with 65 or better % completion percentages on his passes, 250 to plus yardage, and a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, if not better, then I got something I can build on, and we can see where some of the flaws are. I need an offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. Okay, I need a head coach that knows what he's doing, and not just with Justin, but with the talent around him. It's not just all about Justin. Everybody keeps saying that. It's not just all about Justin. It's about the people around him too. Everybody's got to work together. It's all intricately woven. The other thing is, I'm looking at our offensive line situation. Braxton Jones, it seems like a nice young man, very athletic. I don't mind him as my swing tackle, but you're talking about a guy who's had 17 penalties since he's been a starter in the NFL. Okay, that's a lot. And he's got 5 penalties. He didn't even play last week. And he's like top 8 in the NFL in penalties. He didn't even play last week. Okay, that's not good. I'm all for Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first pick. And because the second pick is a second pick, I don't see a defensive end that's that good. I don't. Jared Verse coming into the season out of Florida State.
Just about to ask about him.
Yeah, he was purported to be that good, but he hasn't really produced or done much this year. And that's the thing sometimes. You can have a great year one year. Everybody knows who you are. They do things to make you less, to nullify you. And you've got to show the ability to, readjust to that and be able to, flex and be able to be productive afterwards. He has yet to do that, or the coaches have yet to put him in a situation to do that. He hasn't made any plays, is my point. So I'm looking for those defensive ends or those edge rushers who have had successive seasons of production. And the ones that are there are pretty good, but I don't think any of them is the number 2 pick overall. However, I do believe there's an offensive lineman or two
yes, sir, Bob,
that you can take with the number 2 pick. And I'm feel very good about that because we still need offensive line help. Because again, we don't have the depth. And Olu Fashanu out of Penn State
is nasty.
And very athletic. And right now, he's the highest rated pass blocking offensive tackle in college football. Okay, 92-point-something% according to PFF. So if I can go with in terms of drafting, Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with DJ Moore, and I got Mooney in the slot, and I've got my other guys, other receivers filling out, the depth. And then I've got Fashanu on the left side, and I've got my Tennessee brother on the right side, and I've got Tevin Jenkins if he's healthy, but if he's not, Braxton Jones is athletic enough and quick enough to play guard. He's my swing lineman. He can play any position but center, in my opinion. And I've got Nasty Nate with a better situation coming into next season. I'll get me a center in free agency, a veteran. And right now, and I keep Larry Borum. Right now, I've got a really athletic offensive line that I can do various things with, and I've got some depth. I've got 2 receivers that can take the top off the ball that are interchangeable in terms of whether they're the X receiver or the Z receiver. I've got a lot of viability here. I've got tight ends who can move on down the field, and I've got a good running back. So now, and I have a quarterback who doesn't have to learn the NFL, who is gotten better, who has gone through some of the hard knocks. Keep in mind, everybody, out of all the quarterbacks in that draft class that came out with Justin, he has had the worst, by far, the worst situation to contend with. And he has still shown the mindset, the fortitude of mind to be able to still succeed and come back each week and give it his all. And that's not a small thing, man. You look at what the young man Bryce Young is dealing with in Carolina. He'd been broken up he'd already been knocked out of a game or so.
Yeah.
He has missed a game. He's getting beat up in Carolina. He'd been destroyed here. So I'm just saying. So, Caleb Williams, the team that the Bears are number 1, number 2 pick overall, whoever's number 3 will be very happy that the Bears did not take Caleb Williams, and they can deal with it.
Last question before we let you go, because we're up against the clock. But you would, if we get the number 1, I know it's way too early. But if we get the number 1 and 2 pick, would you consider trading the number 1 pick for a horde of because everybody wants Caleb, so the return is going to be immense.
Yeah, I would because Fashanu's going to be there. So yes, I would trade the number 1 pick for boatload, because right now we only have 7 picks. I think we've got 2 4th rounders. That's nice, but we need some more help, because here's the thing: wherever we settle on, or however it plays out in terms of the picks and where they're positioned, I think our first 2 picks should be offensive, and I think damn near all the rest of them should be defensive, because we need an edge rusher or rushers. we need rushers. We need linebackers. We need some depth at linebacker. Yeah,
I think our linebackers are good if we just get some three tech or a nose guard and let those linebackers play. I think those guys will be able to show But I just need.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I do. I still want one more linebacker, like one of those guys from Clemson, whether it's Jeremiah Trotter Jr. or whether it's Carter. One of those two guys, if they're available, take them. Or if it's Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, I mean, there are going to be some guys out there that are going to be available. And I think we need one more cornerback as well, just depth-wise, because I'm not certain or free safety. I'm not sure if Eddie's going to be here next year, and I'm not certain if, I'm not certain how that's going to go. But for intents and purposes, man, I definitely will focus on offense the first couple of picks, and I would definitely go after edge rushers with the next couple of picks.
Guys, that's my man Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. Man, do me a favor before you leave, Papa. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online and on TV.
No doubt. Oh man, from your mouth to their ears. I hope so. But you can follow me over at NBCSportsChicago.com with the weekly mock draft, and also be coming out with players that bear watching, a new segment I'll be having out where we focus on the players that the Bears that should be endemic to the Bears' success going forward. And also catch me on Twitter or X, or whatever they call it these days, True Glenn Morgan. And from time to time, just YouTube, hit it up, Football Night in Chicago, man. And when they have me on there, I'll definitely try and get as much in as I can.
Dude, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. We got to grab lunch soon, man. Probably next week sometime. I'll hit you up.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Hey, and I apologize. Shout out to my boys, my co-hosts for our podcast. Don't want to forget my brothers in arms, the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast as well. Most definitely lunch on me next time, bro.
No, you got it the first time, dude. I
just want you to say it out loud so everybody can hear it. That's all.
Oh, so you got me on tape. Aha! Yeah. Sneaky snake. Hey, great stuff, man. We'll be in touch soon, man. Thank you.
All right, Rob, a great one.
All right.
Peace.
Guys, that's Glenn Morgan from NBC Sports Chicago. The dirty dog. You got me. Now it's on tape forever. All right, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to get a DC perspective. Our girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, covered the Washington football team, because I think they might have been the Redskins when she did, but recently. And I want to get their take. All right. They're looking at us probably like dinner. And who wouldn't? We're 0-4. We have coaches who don't know how to use our players, and they're looking for winner. Going to their home, things are looking good for them. But I want to get their a DC perspective. So don't go anywhere, folks. Our girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, is going to join us on the other side. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Fields with time. Delivers down the field. One way, Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Trying to take advantage. They run it here with Javonte Williams, and a nice play by DeMarcus Walker. Fields over the middle. Oh, what a catch and a first down for Chicago. That is Darnell Mooney. 9th play of the drive. First down and 10. Fields was looking deep. He's going to take a shot. Downfield, he's got a man more. Was he in? No signal yet. Touchdown! quick pass. Caught by Mims, and he is spun down. That's a great play by Greg Stroman, the fifth-year man out of Virginia. 2nd and 7. Fields wide open is Komet. Touchdown Bears.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. Those are the good times. Those are the good times. Oh, goodness gracious. And then the fourth quarter happened, and it was all downhill from there. As we said, Justin was really annoyed and flustered in the locker room after the game. And, just seeing him there, just like, man, dude, like I felt him. I felt like saying, dude, off the record, Justin, I still got your back, dog. That's what I felt like saying, right? But I didn't. And short turnaround. All right, we're traveling to the nation's capital. Against a team that's 2-2. All right, have a very, very, very nice front four that could cause us problems. So I was like, you know what? I got to reach out to our girl who's down there, who actually used to cover the Washington football franchise for a while. She's an award-winning journalist. She was with Fox Sports, with Bally Sports. You can find her on Twitter. All right, find her on Twitter at @TheRealKNelson. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Kelsey, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me. Happy Wednesday. Happy pre-game day as we're preparing here in Washington.
So you guys are looking at us and probably licking your chops. We're 0-4. We can't get out of our own way. Gave up 24 unanswered points after having a lead 28-7, excuse me, in the third quarter. Give me your thoughts on the game, and what are people in Washington? How are they looking at this game against a team that's just in total disarray? You heard about Chase Claypool, all right? Yeah. He's no longer with the team. They're looking to trade him. They might actually outright cut him. The defensive coordinator left due to quote unquote inappropriate behavior. The head coach, who's a defensive guy, that's where he cut his teeth. He can't stop offenses now. We are in a perfect storm of crap right now. How are you guys looking forward to this? You're just saying, hey, they're on rubber leg street. Let's finish them early.
Let me tell you this, Shawn. If there's any team that knows about disarray, it's the Washington Commanders. I mean, let's just be honest. If there's any team that knows about controversy and going through just all types of adversity, this is the team in Washington. Now, of course, things have changed a bit since the Josh Harris regimen has taken over here in the nation's capital. But let me tell you, I think the Commanders are taking this very seriously for a couple of reasons. One, I call these trap games. Anytime you try to underestimate a team, and let's be honest, as you said, the Bears, I mean, they played a damn good game, honestly, Shawn, until they kind of fumbled up, as you said, in the fourth quarter. But, that was a winnable game for them. And, this despite everything else that's going on. The Commanders also coming off a heartbreaking loss out in Philly, right, to division rivals. A game in which head coach Ron Rivera is questioned for his decision at the end of regulation. Obviously, many people feeling like he should go for 2 instead of going to overtime. And obviously, the Commanders ended up losing in that one. And the Eagles obviously feel in a different way, I think, after playing that Commanders team. But all in all, this is a Commanders team who last time they were home, I was at this game, they were embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills. 3 mere points, Shawn. And this is a fan base that had half Bills fans at that last game as well at home. So all that to say, I think, the Commanders are trying to get their fan base back. The players know how disappointed fans were. This is a team that is getting their top receiver back involved. Remember, prior to the game with the Eagles, Terry McLaurin was one of the top receivers that was only targeted 16 times. So it's prior to that game. And you think about how good Scary Terry is, it just didn't make sense, right? So this is a team where Sam Howell, young quarterback, still trying to get the flow of things. I think they're looking at the Bears like, yes, this is a team that can possibly be beaten, but this is also Commanders team that knows they need to get the job done now because they have a young quarterback, because they're starting this new culture. And they know how big this game is. I think there's some question marks, Shawn, about the defense. 3 30-point games. You talked about, we have a great front four in Washington. This is supposed to be the number 4 defense coming into the season. And it's crazy. The defense is, again, long 3 30-point game. It doesn't make sense when you look at Washington's defense. And then on offense, of course, you just got to protect the football. Sam Howell, obviously, he's been sacked 24 times. People, that's not good. Him and Daniel
Kelsey, don't worry. We got 2 sacks all year. We got 2 sacks. Don't worry about Sam Howell being under pressure. His back is going to be. I don't know a lot about a lot. I know he ain't getting sacked. He ain't getting any pressure.
If it makes you feel good, the Washington Commanders had 3 sacks coming out of Philly. So that's something else that the defense is going to want to step up on. But all in all, to say they're not going to underestimate this team. This is a primetime game. Sean, I think last time we talked was before the primetime game in which Carson Wentz was playing in Washington. That was the game he had 99 yards. And so it wasn't, let me be honest, so this is not a game that I think fans are going to be going out their seats for. This is an Amazon game that people might, you have to be probably a fan of these teams to watch this one, to be honest with you. But I think it's going to be a hard-fought, hard-nosed one because I think the Bears are playing for respect. And again, they're going to be doing it on a national scale against a team that, again, is kind of still trying to find their identity.
So you mentioned that they, even though they do have a really nice front four, you got Chase Young, Justin's
and
old
good to have
teammate.
Chase back. Yes, after all he's been through.
Healthy. Deron Payne, the guy we were trying to get all off season, and
got his money.
He got paid. He got paid, baby. He got paid. Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat. So you had the nice little front four. But if they're not pressuring the quarterback, you saw last week, and obviously it's on tape now, how well Justin played. One of the big knocks on Justin is throw zone at him, and he's having issues. Give me your thoughts on how you think the Commanders are going to play, because if you put him in man-to-man, we got DJ Moore. We didn't know what this looks like. This is like a number.
The Terp, DJ Moore.
Terp,
he's out of my school.
The Terp, and this is actually, we didn't know what that looks like. What a number one receiver looks like. Holy cow, that's crazy, because we haven't had one here since Brandon Marshall. We got him. We also have Chase, Darnell Mooney. We have a couple receivers. How do you think they're going to come at our Bears from the defensive side? Because you can't go man, because these guys, Justin will pick you apart, especially if you're not putting pressure on them.
Justin Fields kind of reminds me of Zach Wilson in a way that, I feel like he's finally getting some of his fair share due. What was the 335 yards he had in that game? And just going back to the Commanders' last game against the Eagles, a wide receiver who had some success against Washington was A.J. Brown. And, you're talking about the young rookie and Emmanuel Forbes Jr., right, who he was going up against, a man that has also had to step up and cover guys like Stephon Diggs, right, the week prior with Buffalo. So all that to say, I think, the Bears, I think there was a bright spot for Chicago in the sense that I think the Commanders are still trying to find that. Again, I'm worried. So Cam Curl was a leading tackler in the last game against Washington. And again, he was good. But as I said, there's not enough pressures for this team that has amazing front four. There's not enough sacks. So meaning if the Bears offensive line can hold up for Justin and he actually has some time to throw, I think he's going to test Washington's secondary, which I think can be a weaker spot for Washington. This is a team that was near the bottom in takeaways last year. Now, obviously kind of coming up this year, but this is something that Washington has wanted to build upon. Now, Justin's going to have a clean game. Again, it's not a defense that you write off, but all in all to say, I think, again, it's going to matter. And honestly, both teams, let's be honest, because Sam Howell, we talked about the sack problem, both offensive lines are going to have to play their part to protect these young quarterbacks, to actually give them time to throw. Justin Fields, I think he's more talented than folks are giving him credit for. I think with all that's happening in Chicago, some of his talent is getting washed away. And of course, when your team's losing, it's hard to kind of be like, oh yeah, well, the quarterback's, decent. Because people are mad, right? I mean, and Chicago's a sports town, so I get it completely. But all in all to say, I think he still has an arm. I think he can still use his legs. And that's also something Sam Howell can do on the other side of the ball, to make something that Chicago's going to have to account for. But I think, like you said, I think if he's able to find wide receivers, and again, for me, anytime I see a big, A.J. Brown, you think about someone, he's a big physical receiver, for the Eagles. And again, he gave a fit to Washington secondary. If you are able to find the one-on-ones and the gap spaces, if Justin Fields can pinpoint that ball perfectly and accurately, Sean, it could be some trouble for Washington, who right now is, again, trying to regain their home field, their home base, after being embarrassed the last time they were there. So all in all to say, I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be reminiscent, of the Bills game for Washington when they were on the wrong side, or for Chicago. I think it might be a closer game, kind of like their last game against Denver, because I don't think this is a team that you can, again, write off. They're not going to go winless, Sean. I refuse to believe they're going to go winless. They're going to have a win. The team that they beat are going to be mad, but it's going to happen, right? We're just trying to figure out when.
Hey, from your lips to God's ears, man, I'll tell you. Hey, guys, we're joined by Kelsey Nicole Nelson, award-winning journalist, talking Bears. I was about to say Redskins, Bears, Commanders tomorrow, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Talking about who else we need to watch and be cognizant of on the offense. Obviously, how in Scary Terry, but is there anyone else on the offense that this team really needs to look at? Because obviously, they're going to shade coverage to Terry McLaurin, because the dude's a stud. No ifs, ands, or buts. But who else could have a big who else could have a big game while we're shading to his side?
Yeah, and I'm glad you talked about Terry McLaurin because, again, I think, Washington fans are still mad about that foot on the line that happened in that Eagles game that, that some say, hey, the refs called it wrong, but, they were in Philly. So I'll leave that alone to rest. But all that to say, I think this is something that the Bears should be looking at, the actual injury report. Somebody who had success in the last game was wide receiver Curtis Samuel. I think he's a weapon that Washington continues to want to use. So, again, if he's healthy, I think he can be a threat with the ball. Jahan Doxson, who every week, Sean, I tweet, he is a stud. I don't think this young man gets enough credit. So special, so young. He's going to continue to evolve. But again, he's also on that Washington potential injury report. So I think a Washington team is going to have to be healthy to make noise. Antonio Gibson, we saw him get more touches last week than we've seen weeks prior. So you're looking at that running game. I think Washington is going to hopefully do a ground and pound with the genius Eric Bieniemy calling plays. I think that's going to be important because obviously what Brian Robinson can do. But Antonio Gibson is called a Swiss Army knife for a reason and can be used for different things. And I think they're trying to get him more involved in that offense. I think those are some people I'd look out for. I'll tell you, on the offense, I'm really looking at that right tackle position. It's been one of the weak spots for Washington. And again, Sam Howell needs time. The Bears game, those 4 interceptions, under pressure, bad decisions. So I'm really looking at how well this offensive line will hold up. This is a Washington offensive line, Sean. We had the same conversation last year when they went through 9 offensive changes. This year we're having the same conversation. Maybe the only people who are talking about this more is the Giants because that was abysmal, what we saw Monday night for Daniel Jones. But the offensive line is going to be – anytime you have a smaller quarterback, again, a young quarterback, he's going to need time. You don't want to force him to throw. But I can't emphasize enough how Sam Howell needs to be watched because, again, he can use his legs. Kind of much like Daniel Jones. You let him escape, he's going to make you pay for it. We've seen some defenders be on the wrong side of his highlight tape, Sean. Hopefully that won't happen to any of your Bears. But that's the great thing about Washington. Again, they can spread the field. And they have multiple weapons. It's just up to Sam Howell to get the ball to those weapons at the right time. But again, watch for Washington. Watch for those wide receivers to be healthy. There's some question marks right now. You talked about the short week. Luckily, the team didn't have to travel far to go to Philly, right? Not too far of a distance to come back. But health is wealth in the National Football League. And I think that's going to be the question for Washington.
Guys, she's Kelsey Nicole Nelson. Man, she is awesome. Thank you so much for your time. It's going to be a great time. Great game tomorrow. 2 teams.
I don't know if I'd use great game, Sean.
I didn't say great teams. It's 2 teams that are kind of equally yoked, and it'll be a great game if we win. That's for darn sure. I don't care by hook or by crook.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I will be at that game, so super excited to catch this primetime action. I hope it's a good game, and I really do think it's going to be an interesting one. But hopefully not the game we got last year between the Bears and Washington. Hopefully it's a little bit more interesting for the fans.
Great stuff. I appreciate it, and we will talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Have a great one, and I will send love to Chicago.
All right. Thanks. We'll talk soon. Bye now. Guys, that's Kelsey Nicole Nelson from Fox and Valley Sports. Great stuff. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. I'm torn. Nomad's in the house. What's up, Papa? How are you? I I do think something unlocked in Justin. Here's what I think unlocked in Justin. You remember how I told you all the great players, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, track, whatever. You got to have that little bit of an asshole in you. Okay. I think Justin's turning into that. I think he's tired of losing. I think he's tired of the bullshit play calls that are coming in. Okay. I'm thinking he's about to say, hey, you know what? Bump this. Forget this stupid play. I got this. All right. I'm going to call this play, but I'm going to check to this play. All right. If I see this, I think Justin really needs to take more control of it. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Fire him? What are you going to do? Trade him? Cut him? Come on. Justin needs to take more control of the offense. Excuse me. He needs to take more control of the play calling. If a play comes in that just sucks. I'm telling you, I play with a lot of my quarterbacks. All right. In college, I had an All-American quarterback, Tom Chacho. All right. Sometimes the play would come in and be like, yeah, okay. My guy, Paul Ohm, George Sierra, when I played with the Chargers and when I played with the Thunder. Those guys would be like, they'd come in, the receiver would bring the play in, because that's before everyone had hand signals and cards. Receiver would bring it in. And I can't tell you how many times Paul would be like, what the fuck? No, we're running this. We're running this. All right. You run this. We got a curl. You run a curl. You run a corner. You run a dig. You run the. All right. And George, same thing. There's so many times that George or Paul, they're setting a wide receiver in. He's like, stay on the sideline. I got it. Stay on the sideline. I got it. That's where I need Justin to be. That's where I need Justin because Justin, you understand. You're the one playing. Okay. Listen to what they're saying in the helmet and everything. Great. But you're the one who's going. And let's not forget, Justin, I need him to use his legs more. I need him to use his legs more. I would have liked him to use his legs more this past Sunday. Okay, but ni modo, it's over and done with. But now I need that this week. I need that tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Okay. That will help out so much. That will leave that deep middle open or the intermediate middle open. That because if you bring a spy there, no one can because you can't. If you leave a spy there, it'd be very tough to go robber. For those of you, robber is a guy who kind of goes and he sits in the middle of the field, and it'd be very tough to do that. Okay, very tough to do that because then you're leaving everybody else because that's two guys that are not in car that are occupied have one spot, and if you double team DJ Moore, tight ends open. Tyler Scott, Darnell Mooney, those guys are going to be open. So I think they need to do one, commit to the run game. I think two, I think they need to make sure that Justin is. I still want first read, second read, run. I'm okay with that right now. I'm not expecting him to pass for 5,000 yards this year. Okay, do what he does best. First read, second read, run. Okay, and Shorty, you're right. Teams have been shutting down his legs, but here, it's not just they're shutting down his legs. He's also been told that you got to win from the pocket. Same shit they told Mitch Trubisky, all right, in 2019. All right, don't handicap him. Like we're the best defenses by our offensive coordinator, taking Justin out of the game. Because let me tell you, Justin Fields on that 4th and 1. First of all, get your ass under center. Get him under center. Secondly, if you're going to go with that stupid shotgun and have that read, I think Justin can beat anybody to the sideline. Especially the closer they get, Justin gets one move, get to the sideline for 1 yard. He's our best player. Don't take one of his best assets, best weapons, his legs, away from him and this team. And by the way, get a freaking offensive guard. Report is eligible. Like I tell you what, I won't be disgusting. You know what? If they did that, I would come on here on Monday or Friday because the game's tomorrow. I would come on here with the biggest smile, and I might even raffle off. I got a couple of Bears things. I got a couple. Yes, they are spying him. Identify the spy. Okay, see where he's at. All right, and more importantly, once you identify him, now here's where my tight end comes in. I'm like, okay, post up 10 yards behind the spy. Right in the middle of the field. Just post up behind him. Because if they go zone, there's going to be a zone there. There's going to be a hole there. If they go man, no problem. Just run away, but Justin's going to have to hit him as he's hitting the middle of the field, running away from a defender. And we've seen Justin's been able to throw people. You saw the catch to DJ Moore on the side. Oh, my God, that was amazing. See, and this is the thing that I'm still confused at. People talk about Justin's not good. Did you see the throw to the sideline to DJ Moore? It was like this far away from the defender. He catches it. DJ Moore turns up. Come on now. Like his ability to make every throw is not even a question. Not even a question. Add his legs to it. Add his legs to that. And man, you're in trouble. Defenses are going to have trouble. Yeah, a BB. Dude, that ball to DJ Moore, whoo, man. If they're running straight to Justin, have Vader or Scott with the jet sweep underneath them. Yeah. You know what? I would love an option. All right. I got jet sweep coming from my right. Okay. Jet sweep, and we're optioning this left end, this left defensive end. We're optioning him. All right. You put him in motion. Comes behind, you snap the ball, you ride that running back. Okay. You pull it, and now you look right at that defensive end. So first of all, if he goes to that running back, which they're not because they don't want Justin getting to the edge, but if he goes to that running back, then you take it to the next guy. All right, you take it to the next level. Who's the next defender that you're going to option? And if he stays home, which they're most likely going to, then you run at his ass. And I got my jet sweep guy behind me, pitch, let him go. Because now you're putting people in a bind. Now you're putting that defensive end who's supposed to keep contained. He's outflanked. All right, you get that bubble motion. Come on, look. If I can think of this shit here like this, you mean to tell me with a week of preparation you can't do that, Luke Getsy? You can't do that. You can't say, oh, you know what? Let me get one of the backup linemen who wants to play. Tyree Carter, Larry Borum. Oh no, he's starting. Give me a backup lineman. Hey, you want to go in there and get some work? Here's what you do. In motion, you knock the dog snot out of the freaking defensive end. Kari Blasting game, you better be right up his ass. Roshan Johnson, you better be right up his ass. And we're never ever going to have a situation where we don't get a 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. You know, there's no reason. Bring in 2 tight ends. Dude, hell with it. 2 tight ends, unbalanced line. Are you kidding me? Put 1 tight end here. So Tunyon on the left. Bring the tackle over to the other side. Bring Cole Kmet on that side. Backup lineman checks in as eligible. Put him in motion. You got an unbalanced line. You got Cole Kmet. You got the offensive lineman with a head start. You got the fullback. Come on, man. And you're going to stop that for gaining 1 yard? And think of all the things you can run off of that. Same play. Slip the fullback out in the backfield, out into the flat. Slip the offensive lineman out into the flat. Slip the tailback out into the flat. There's so many different things you can do off of that. Slip the tight end, who's the wing. Man, there's so many different things you could do off of that. And 4th and 1. And just know, or why not just have what I would love is like a Ripper Liz backfield. Pullback, tailback, offensive lineman who checked in is eligible. And we run right at that defensive end. Come on. You got 1 yard. That sends a message not only to the Washington Commanders, that sends a message not only to the rest of the NFC North or the rest of the NFC, but to the entire NFL. And you know who it sends a message to? It sends a message to your team. We're going to be some tough motherfuckers in this game of football. When we got to get it, we're going to get it. Pardon my French. Hey, we got to run, guys. 2 hours is come and gone. Unbelievable. I want to thank my guest, Glenn Morgan, for coming on from NBC Sports Chicago. Great stuff. And then our girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, for joining me today, giving us a Washington Commanders perspective. As I said, she covered the Commanders for a few years out in the D.C. area. Thank you guys for coming on. I want to tell you it was a blast. I appreciate your time. So listen, we'll see you on Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel. 9 a.m. to 11. We're going to talk post-game. It's going to be fun. And hopefully we're talking about a Bears victory. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal day. If you're in Chicago, it's going to be one more nice day before the weather starts to drop. All right? I'm out of here. Have a great day. This will be replayed this afternoon at 4. I'm out. Deuces.